Thank you. Welcome, Madam Secretary. Madam Secretary, the Prosper Act provides for a $15 billion cut in student aid. Is that right?
I've heard that opined. I'm not sure I agree with that, but
Do you have another number?
pardon me?
Do you have another number?
It's an approach to giving students much more flexibility pursuing their higher education.
$15 billion cut. Is that, do you have another number?
I have heard that opined that that is the case. I said I don't necessarily
No.
share that perspective.
Public service loan forgiveness, there's a report this morning of the debacle going on with teachers who are fulfilled in the process of fulfilling their loan forgiveness requirements. How long has that been, how long have you, the department known about that?
Are you speaking of the teacher grant program?
Right.
We are aware of the issues within that program and have taken steps to address the issues therein.
Do you need legislation to fix it?
I don't believe so.
Can we expect the same debacle to happen in a few years when students are completing their 10 years of loan forgiveness?
We are committed to fulfilling the requirements and the arrangements of loans under the public service loan forgiveness agreements.
You don't need any legislation to help that, to fulfill that responsibility?
No, I don't believe so.
Under the Every Student Succeeds Act, over 50 members of Congress, including members of the Congressional Black Caucus, Hispanic Caucus, and Asian and Pacific American Caucus, sent you a letter on March 7th expressing our disappointment regarding ESSA implementation and a concern that you have approved plans that appear to violate the law. That was more than 2 months ago. Do you intend to respond to the letter?
Sir, let me just say that I've not approved any plan that does not comport with the law. That has been my commitment, stated multiple times publicly, and I'm committed to following the law.
You intend to respond to the letter?
The letter will be responded to indeed, but I have given you my commitment before, and I give it again, that no plans are approved that do not correspond and comport with the law.
The law requires states to reduce the achievement gap. Some plans that have been approved provide that the ranking of schools will not include subgroup performance. How do you comply with the law to require a reduction in achievement gaps if the ranking of schools does not include the calculation of subgroup performance?
Sir, all of the plans that I have approved follow what the law requires, and we will continue to do so.
How does it conform to the law if subgroup performance is not part of the calculation?
All of the plans comport with the law as this body passed. If you are
Is subgroup performance part of the calculation that the states?
as required by the law, yes.
Okay, and if a state does not include subgroup performance in the calculation, how is that in compliance with the law which requires them to address achievement gaps?
Again, sir, all of the plans that I have approved follow the law as this body passed.
Well, are you going to answer the question? How do you address an achievement gap if subgroup performance isn't addressed?
It is addressed as required by the law.
And how is that?
Whatever the law states, it requires.
What does the law state?
The plans that I have approved follow the law as this body passed.
And what is the requirement?
If the question is what the law does not include that you might have wished it did, I will not add to the law. I will follow the law.
I'm just asking you what you think the law is that you're following.
The Every Student Succeeds Act as passed by this body.
Right, and based on subgroup performance, the states are required to reduce the achievement gap. I'm just asking you, how can you do that if you don't calculate the subgroup performance?
Well, we certainly hope that every state will not only do what the law requires, but will go above and beyond and work to close the achievement gap for every student that they serve within their state.
Without
The
addressing
gentleman's
subgroup
time has
performance.
expired.